and it's
No,
more
it's
respectful.
not.
No?
No, it's not peaceful at all.
I was going to ask if the album helped, but no, it's not peaceful, respectful. What is it now?
It's not peaceful at all.
No one is ready for the storm of revelations that just shook the internet. Cardi B has opened up like never before, and let's just say, things are not as peaceful as many thought. In fact, this so-called separation between Cardi B and Offset is starting to look more like a battlefield than a quiet goodbye. And trust me, you're going to want to wait and watch the clip to see what is really going on here. Because this story has more twists than a telenovela. Oh, and before we dive all the way in, make sure you hit that subscribe button because you already know this is the only place where the real tea is served piping hot.
It's not peaceful at all. I can't even talk about it because it's like court thing, but it's like it is not peaceful at all.
When you heard his song "Move On," Offset's "Move On," what'd you think?
I laughed. Whatever. You let the world think what they want to think. People see it. People see what's up. I don't bother nobody. They can't prove that I bother them.
Did it hurt your feelings when he said you couldn't cook?
No, because you know that. But now you got all these bitches that cook for you. Why you still bothering me? Shit.
And you used to be on TikTok. You never said that you could, like you were Chef Boyardee. You be on TikTok making your cooking what you cook.
If somebody asked me or if somebody told me like, I want you to cook for me. This is what I require and stuff like that. I'll do it. I will do it. But that was never like a requirement. So it's like now you acting like that was an issue. Now you got these bitches that cook. Why can't you sign the papers and these bitches cooking?
Do you think love and marriage is still worth it?
I think it's worth it.
Or you get married again?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I will get married again, but not as quick as I got married the last time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot. It's really a lot. It's actually disgusting.
Now here's the bombshell. Cardi B admitted she knows she can't cook. She's never been shy about it. But this time, she flipped that truth into a sharp dagger, claiming that Offset is surrounded by all the girls who can cook. So why is he still worried about her? Think about that. Cardi is practically saying, if you've already got what you want, why can't you let me live my life? And you can feel the frustration dripping from her words. This isn't just shade. It's a cry of exhaustion. For years, the world has watched Cardi and Offset play out their messy love story in public. Breakups, makeups, cheating scandals, reconciliations, and now, a divorce that refuses to move forward. But here's the real kicker. Even after Cardi B confirmed her pregnancy with her new boyfriend, NFL star Stefon Diggs, Offset reportedly refuses to sign those divorce papers. Yes, you heard that right. Offset, the estranged husband who allegedly has all the girls who can cook, still won't finalize the split. Fans are asking the same burning question Cardi is. Why? Why cling on when she's clearly moved forward with her life, her love, and even a new chapter of motherhood? This raises so many possibilities. Is Offset still holding out hope for reconciliation? Is this about pride, ego, or maybe even money? Cardi B herself made it clear. She doesn't understand why he's dragging his feet. And that's where the drama begins to thicken. Because think about it, Cardi B is stepping into one of the most powerful phases of her career. She's not just preparing for motherhood again, she's also preparing for her big album rollout, Am I the Drama? A title that suddenly feels like a prophecy because yes, Cardi, you are the drama, and the world cannot stop watching. But how does this drama affect her personal peace? Cardi B admitted that this divorce limbo has left her restless. She's frustrated, she's angry, and above all, she wants closure. Yet Offset seems to be pulling the strings in the shadows, refusing to grant her that one final signature that would set her free. Now here's where the cliffhanger comes in. Fans are split. Some believe Offset's refusal is proof he still loves Cardi and doesn't want to let her go. Others, however, argue it's all about power and control, about not wanting Cardi to have the freedom to officially move on with Stefon Diggs. And let's be honest, watching the man who was once your husband now standing beside your replacement, cheering on your new baby? that has to sting. So what's really happening here? Is Offset playing the long game? Or is this all just one last act of defiance? We're going to break it down piece by piece because the truth is layered, the emotions are raw, and the drama is just getting started. Offset's silence is perhaps the loudest part of this entire saga. While Cardi B is spilling her truth online, Offset has stayed unusually quiet. And that silence? It's not peace, it's tension. Fans are speculating that Offset's refusal to sign the divorce papers is a calculated move, not just emotional hesitation. And the motives? Oh, honey, they're darker than you might think. Some insiders believe Offset sees this divorce as a power play. By refusing to sign, he keeps Cardi B tethered to him in some way, no matter how far she runs. It's as if he's saying, "You may have moved on, but you'll always have to deal with me." And for a woman as fiercely independent as Cardi B, that's not just frustrating, it's infuriating. But here's where it gets even messier. Rumors are swirling that Offset feels humiliated, not just by the divorce, but by the fact that Cardi is pregnant with another man's child. Stefon Diggs isn't just any boyfriend. He's a high-profile NFL star, rich, young, and adored by fans. Some say Offset feels like he's being replaced in the most public way possible. Think about it. For years, Cardi and Offset were hip-hop's most chaotic couple, the ones who gave us drama on stage and off. From her throwing shoes at award shows to him interrupting her live performance to beg for forgiveness. This was their brand. But now Cardi B is building a new brand without him, and with someone who could very well be the opposite of Offset's chaos. Fans are starting to wonder if Offset simply can't stomach the image of Cardi thriving without him. He's been part of her story for so long, maybe he doesn't know who he is outside of that narrative. Could this be why he's holding on? Not out of love, but out of fear of irrelevance? But let's not forget, Offset has his own reputation, one that has been marred by scandal after scandal, cheating allegations, public humiliation, failed reconciliations. Cardi stood by him through so many storms, and now, when she finally decides she's had enough, he slams the brakes on her exit. Doesn't that sound suspiciously like control rather than love? And the fans? They're divided. Social media has erupted into heated debates. One camp says Offset is still in love with Cardi B, that he's fighting for his family in his own stubborn way. Another camp says this is pure selfishness, that Offset can't stand to see Cardi move forward without his name attached. And then there's a third, more cynical group, whispering about money. They believe Offset could be dragging things out for financial leverage, hoping to negotiate more favorable terms before signing the papers. Here's where it gets juicy. Cardi B isn't backing down. In her own words, she made it crystal clear. She wants those divorce papers signed. Period. She's already painted a vivid picture of Offset living his life, surrounded by other women, enjoying the perks of bachelorhood. But at the same time, he's blocking her from closing this chapter. And Cardi, being Cardi, isn't about to sit quietly and let the world think everything is calm. Her decision to air this out publicly shows she's done playing games in private. Cardi knows the power of her voice. She knows that once she takes it to social media, it becomes a headline, a trending topic, a public conversation. And Offset? He can't hide from that. But here's the cliffhanger. If Offset truly is holding back because of pride, jealousy, or control, how long can he keep this up? Cardi B is a force of nature, and she's already proven she doesn't need permission to move forward. Will this standoff end in court with lawyers battling it out? Or will Offset eventually cave to the pressure of public scrutiny? When the news of Cardi B's pregnancy with Stefon Diggs broke, the internet practically exploded. Fans who had been following the rumors of her split with Offset were already on high alert, and this revelation sent the speculation machine into overdrive. Cardi didn't just move on, she moved on in the most dramatic, headline-grabbing way possible. Now, let's pause here for a second. Cardi B could have kept this pregnancy under wraps, avoiding the circus of public scrutiny. But she didn't. She chose to reveal it, to put it out there for the world to see. And that choice wasn't just personal, it was strategic. She wanted the world to know she wasn't dwelling in heartbreak. She was building something new, something different, something Offset couldn't touch. Stefon Diggs isn't just a random rebound. He's a powerhouse in his own right. As an NFL star, he brings stability, wealth, and mainstream appeal. And for Cardi B, who has always been about leveling up, this pairing sends a clear message. She's not stuck in the past. She's not trapped in the drama. She's rewriting her narrative. And Stefon is the co-star in this new chapter. But how did Offset react? That's where the story takes a darker turn. Sources close to the couple claim that Offset was blindsided by the pregnancy news. While he may have suspected Cardi was dating, the idea of her starting a family with another man reportedly hit him like a punch to the gut. And suddenly, his refusal to sign those divorce papers makes a lot more sense. Imagine this. Cardi B, the woman he's been tied to in love, scandal, and music, now carrying another man's child while still legally bound to him. For someone like Offset, who thrives on pride and image, that has to feel like the ultimate humiliation. Could this be why he's digging his heels in? Refusing to let go, not out of hope, but out of spite. And the fans? They noticed something. Cardi's announcement didn't just highlight her future with Stefon, it highlighted Offset's refusal to move on. People began pointing out the irony. If Offset has all these women who can cook, as Cardi sarcastically put it, why is he still so pressed about her life? Why can't he just sign the papers and let her be happy? Some fans believe Offset is holding out because he doesn't want to see Cardi officially start her next chapter without him. Others think it's financial leverage. Maybe he's worried about what a finalized divorce would mean for assets, custody, or even public perception. And then there's a wild theory floating around that Offset secretly hoped Cardi would come back to him, that this pregnancy announcement shattered whatever fantasy he had left. But Cardi isn't leaving room for that fantasy. In her own fiery way, she's made it clear that her relationship with Stefon Diggs is not just a fling. It's real, it's solid, and it's her future. And the fact that she's pregnant seals the deal. This isn't a storyline where Offset gets to swoop back in for redemption. That chapter is closed. Still, here's the twist. By refusing to sign the papers, Offset is forcing Cardi B to stay tied to him legally. Imagine the tension. Trying to celebrate a pregnancy with a new partner while still dealing with the legal chains of the past. It's almost poetic, in the most tragic, chaotic Cardi B kind of way. And fans are left wondering, what happens next? Will Cardi push for a court-ordered divorce? Will Offset continue his silent protest, hoping to maintain some shred of control? Or will public pressure finally force his hand? When Cardi B says she has receipts, the world listens. She's not the type to throw out accusations without something to back them up, especially when the stakes are this high. And in this chapter of the drama, Cardi made it clear. She wasn't going to sit quietly while Offset tried to spin his own narrative. The first time she mentioned receipts, fans thought it was just a figure of speech. But then subtle hints began to surface, screenshots, cryptic posts, and references to times and places that lined up with old rumors. Cardi didn't drop everything at once. No, she played it like a chess game, strategically letting people know she wasn't bluffing. One of the most shocking claims came when Cardi revealed that a woman Offset accused her of overreacting about, someone who had once smiled in her face, congratulated her, and even given her flowers, was allegedly also someone he smashed behind her back. That revelation hit like a bombshell. Fans immediately connected the dots, whispering names, piecing together timelines, and debating whether Cardi was really talking about Saweetie, or maybe someone else entirely. The betrayal stung on another level because Cardi remembered the kindness. She remembered accepting those flowers while pregnant, not knowing that her own husband was secretly disrespecting her in the worst way possible. And now, years later, she finally spoke it aloud. She said she stayed silent at the time because she didn't want to talk without proof. But now, with those receipts, she was ready to tell her truth. Offset's defenders were quick to clap back. Some claimed Cardi was being dramatic, dragging up old wounds to hurt him while he's already under fire. But her supporters weren't having it. They said this was exactly why she had every right to move on with Stefon Diggs. They argued that Offset had years to be the man she needed, but instead he kept betraying her trust, and now he was bitter that she finally chose happiness somewhere else. Fans flooded social media with their own takes. Some wrote that it was definitely Saweetie, pointing to old beefs, awkward interviews, and subtle shade that now made sense in hindsight. Others suggested Chrissy and Rock, stirring up another wave of messy speculation. The truth, though, remains locked in Cardi's vault, leaving everyone hanging on her every word, waiting to see if she'll drop the names outright. And that's the power of Cardi B. She doesn't just live her life. She turns it into a saga, a spectacle, a story that fans can't stop following. Every post, every live stream, every lyric becomes another puzzle piece in the grand picture of her life. And right now, the picture looks like a woman finally tired of carrying the weight of betrayal, finally bold enough to say, "Here's what happened, I've got the proof." But here's the twist that makes this even more explosive. Cardi didn't just frame her revelations as a personal heartbreak. She framed them as a warning, a message to women everywhere about the importance of knowing your worth and refusing to let anyone play you, no matter how rich, famous, or charming they might be. That's why this moment hit so hard. It wasn't just about Offset and Cardi. It was about every woman who has ever smiled at someone, trusted them, only to be stabbed in the back. Still, with all of this on the table, the divorce papers remain unsigned. Offset continues to drag his feet, as if holding on to the marriage in name alone gives him some kind of power. But if Cardi's revelations keep building momentum, the public pressure might finally force the situation to a breaking point. At this point, it's no longer just about he said, she said. It's about a love story turned battlefield. A marriage that once captured the world's imagination, now unraveling in real time with receipts, betrayal, and a refusal to let go. Cardi B has laid her truth bare, and the world is watching to see what comes next. Offset's refusal to sign the divorce papers now looks less like confusion or hesitation, and more like a desperate attempt to cling to control. Fans are asking, why hold on to a marriage that's clearly over? Is it pride? Is it regret? Or is it the fear of watching Cardi B move forward, happier, freer, and more successful, without him? Because, make no mistake, Cardi B is moving forward. Her relationship with Stefon Diggs has become a symbol of that shift. He's not just a rebound, he's the man standing proudly beside her, supporting her publicly and privately, a complete contrast to the secretive betrayals that defined her past. For fans, this isn't just romance, it's redemption. After years of headlines about heartbreak, Cardi finally has a storyline about healing. But Offset isn't ready to fade quietly into the background. Sources close to him suggest he's furious about how Cardi has been painting him, insisting she's blowing things out of proportion. His defenders argue he's being villainized without a fair chance to tell his side. Still, in the court of public opinion, perception is everything, and right now, the tide is not in his favor. What makes this even more powerful is how Cardi has harnessed her pain into her music. Her upcoming project, Am I the Drama, is already being described as her most personal work yet. Fans are saying it's not just an album. It's a diary, a manifesto, a survival story set to a beat. And this specific track, where she throws shade at Offset for acting like the baby mama while she's moving on, that's the kind of lyric that lives forever in pop culture. And yet, behind the glitz, there's a very real human struggle. Cardi B admitted the separation hasn't been peaceful. She's vulnerable, she's tired, and she's carrying the weight of a public breakup while pregnant with her new boyfriend's child. The courage it takes to live all of this under a spotlight, while still performing, still recording, still being a mother, is something fans continue to rally behind. The big question now is simple. What happens next? Will Offset finally sign the divorce papers and let go? Or will this drag out until the February 2026 hearing, turning into one of the messiest celebrity divorces in recent history? Will Cardi drop even more receipts? potentially exposing names that could blow the industry apart? Or will she choose to let the music speak for itself? One thing is certain. The world is watching. Every live stream, every Instagram post, every lyric is dissected like a clue in the ultimate celebrity mystery. And that's why this story resonates beyond just hip-hop. It's about love, betrayal, power, and the courage to walk away even when the world is watching you stumble. So, as Cardi B steps into the next chapter of her life, with Stefon Diggs by her side, a new baby on the way, and an album poised to shake the culture, fans are left asking, will this be the closure she deserves? Or will Offset's refusal to let go pull them back into more drama than ever before? Stay tuned, because if history has taught us anything, it's that when it comes to Cardi B, the story is never truly over. It just gets louder, bolder, and even more dramatic.